Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman. Now I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sit Down. As you can see, I am not at home. I am on the road traveling on vacation. You can check out a quick update on my adventures thus far at the Seaman's Vacation Adventures update video right there. But as you know, there's a lot of stuff that I did and watched and checked out before I went on vacation, and then just wasn't able to post. And I've literally been going nonstop. It's crazy. I've been so busy out here, but now I'm in a stretch of traveling where I'm just by myself, no friends, no family, nobody to hang out with. So there will be more updates, including things like this review for Crawl, which came out a few weeks ago. Saw it, had a blast. So I'm gonna let the old Pass Seaman tell you all about it right now. Take it away, Pass Seaman. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Corey, better known as the Seaman. Now I want to welcome you to another edition of the Seaman's Cinema Sit Down. I'm excited to talk about this, man, because this movie has Mr. Sam Rami attached to it, and I'm telling you, talk about finding a director to collaborate with that just meshes with a guy like Sam Rami. Alexandre Aja, really excellent collaborator and director to have in the seat. You can definitely tell this was a good collaboration, and that makes this movie pay off big time. I was so excited to see it, and I was so excited walking out of the movie theater. What am I talking about? Let me pull up a chair, man, take a seat. We're getting ready to dive in, spoiler-free, into Crawl, which, for those that are unfamiliar, follows Kaya Scodelaro's character Haley, as you know, she lives in Florida and a massive hurricane is coming and they're evacuating a good portion of the state that initially didn't look like it was going to get hit, but now it's like the target of the center of the storm. And when her dad isn't responding, her sister gives her a call, says, I haven't been able to get a hold of Dad. She can't get a hold of him. She decides to go find him. Not at his apartment, goes back to like their old house. And, you know, that he was supposed to sell. Their parents get divorced, which is a small spoiler. But that he goes back to that house because he hasn't sold it yet. And, Haley just has an assumption, like feeling like, I'm going to go check there. Maybe he's there. And when she finds him, he is unconscious underneath the house, like in the basement sublevel. And he's been attacked. And he has been attacked by an alligator. And when you watch the trailer for this movie, man, it is not just one alligator. This ain't a solo alligator movie. Oh, no. No big one alligator like Lake Placid, which, again, is, I think, extremely enjoyable. No, it's a group. I looked this up yesterday or the day before, my buddy. Group is actually a congregation of alligators, and that concept works so geniusly in this movie. You get trapped in, shockingly, in a Sam Raimi film, we're trapped in a house of horrors, and this house of horrors is alligators. And even when you try to leave this house, it's like, nah, man, the movie's like, nah, you're going back. You bring you back in the house. We're not done yet with you. And this movie goes some really, really fun places. So that's the premise, man. Haley and her dad, Dave, trapped in this house that is just filling with alligators. And them trying to escape before the flooding drowns them. Like I said, I was shocked at how good this movie was. Like I said, I'm a big Sam Raimi fan, so I had a strong feeling that I was going to enjoy this movie, and I like some of the stuff Alexandre Aja has done before, specifically The Hills Have Eyes, and I knew I was going to get stuff I enjoyed, but I enjoyed it so much more than I thought I was going to. I was on the edge of my seat more than I thought I was going to, and the jump scares, they got me, man. And then you come out of the movie theater, I posted this on Twitter, to a torrential downpour. Like in the parking garage I was in, water was just pouring into the parking garage. And I'm like, yeah, this is what I want to see after watching a house filled with water and people attacked by alligators. Like if I run into an alligator in freaking New York, New Jersey tonight, I'm retiring from movie watching. I fortunately did not run into any alligators. But that's the premise of the movie. And the thing that works the best is that the fact that it's a congregation of alligators. I love that word, by the way. But not just one big alligator. And it really drives the realism and the stakes a lot higher. Because you're not just focusing on like, okay, he's looking over there, I can run over here. It's, well, he's looking over there, but where's the other one? Or, oh man, there are two over there, but where, I know there's a third one. So like that stuff just, you're always like, okay, well, I know where one is, but I know there are more alligators. Like, and then, I mean, the near misses, there are some near misses in this movie that made myself and the audience laugh. And I think that's a purposeful maneuver, because there are lots of not getaways. There are some epic murders in this movie from the alligators. These alligators should all be brought up on charges because it didn't just look like they were just hunting. It looked like they were having fun, man. This one dude they get, and like mild spoiler, like one alligator grabs him and throws him to another alligator. Like these alligators were enjoying. They were like a Jaws mentality alligator. They had a purpose, and they were hunting people that were left over from the storm. So there is legit, things at stake in this movie, and the terror is real. People are dying. People are getting attacked. I will say this, and you should know this because we've seen Kaya Scodelario twice in the trailers get attacked in different ways, once by the leg, once in the arm. Our main characters, they don't just get attacked once in this movie. These things keep coming, and they get them multiple times. So when they get some of these escape maneuvers off that are entertaining, you can kind of laugh and go, that's wild. But you know what? I'm okay with it because, like, just 5 minutes ago, she got hit. So, like, the movie has elements of realism to it, but obviously elements of exaggerated realism, which is a real big Sam Rami thing. And you get that vibe through the whole movie, and it works and it plays so well. Specifically the first half of this thing, which takes place mostly in the basement of the house. There are, like, things are coming sometimes, and you're like, ugh, and it still gets you. And then, like, there are moments where, like, you're down there and you're like, okay, I know we're probably not going to get an alligator attack here because we just, like, had this crazy sequence with the alligators. But, like, I also feel like Sam and Aja aren't, oh, no. Like, they get, like, every time you think you can lull or kind of take a breath, you in the back of your head, you're literally thinking, like, I've been calm for too long. Something has gotten, and then it hits you. And that's the other great thing with this movie. The pacing is fast. This movie hits fast, it hits hard, and that keeps you engaged the whole time and entertained the whole time. And it's a perfect thing to do as the speed of the movie kind of ramps up, because alligators are not traditionally very fast on land, but as the water becomes more of an element, they are extremely fast, so that the pace of the movie picking up works so well with that, as is Kaya Scodelario's character, who's a swimmer. We see her at a race for the Florida Gators. There's that foreshadowing, and before I get any further, I have to apologize. My trailer reaction, I definitely said crocodiles like an idiot. Even after I watched the trailer and you see Florida hurricane and a lizard, that's obviously an alligator. I said crocodile. So I have to apologize for that. But, it is. She swims for the Gators, so she obviously is going to swim against the Gators a couple times in this movie. And those moments, sure, like real suspense, but you believe that she can pull it off. And I like the way that kind of plays into the movie. So, like I said, the Gators work really well, but the acting, I was really, really impressed by Kaya Scodelario's performance. She sells the hell out of this movie. You really believe everything that's going on, even the crazy stuff, because of what she's bringing for performance-wise. And apparently people are weed whacking outside. I apologize for that. I'll talk a little louder. But her performance, she just sells it so well. And I really love just the way she performed everything they asked her to do, whether she was being attacked, whether she was fighting. She is strong, she's brave, she's maybe a little crazy, but you get to a point where it's like, it's all or nothing, man. And that's the thing with this movie. Like, you go back to get Barry Pepper, you got to do everything you can to get out of there, because you didn't have to go back. She was being directed away from the police, and they're like, she's like, no, I'm going to get Dad. So a lot on stake, and she sells all that so well. And Barry Pepper, I tell you, I'm a fan of Barry Pepper. I've missed him, and I was excited to see him in this movie. In the first half, I think he crushes it. When you get to the exaggerated realism, it really pushes to the edge of that line with his character, Dave. We've seen he's real messed up in the trailers, and, he can't really walk. I'm going to just give you one minor little spoiler. His leg is broken in half when we find him. So the way that's handled, and there is a creative element to it, like as the water fills, he becomes a little bit more mobile and useful, which is kind of interesting because it's also the most terrifying part about the water coming in, because that makes the Gators more ready and willing to be scary, because that's their habitat and they can hear in the water better than they can out in land. So if you're making noise in the water, they're going to direct right to you. So it's interesting you get to that dichotomy, but it really gets crazy with him toward the end. I could have used maybe a little bit less of that, because the movie really does feel quite realistic most of the way, but at the same time, like, Sam Rami movie. Of course we're going to have some craziness, and I was okay with it. And we get some crazy gore in this movie. Like I said, these gators attack. They attack hard, and you see some stuff. You're like, oh no, ah. Again, Sam Rami movie, and also Alexandre Aja movie. Like, if you see The Hills Have Eyes, you know that is not a guy who shies away from the gore, and it's done in a way that like gets you to squirm. But I didn't think it was distasteful or too over the top. But like realistically, like, you see one of the things, and it's gross to watch happen. But you're like, yeah, I mean, if that was happening, that's probably what would happen. So you appreciate that, and after you get out of the like, oh man, like make me squirm, but. Aja just does such a good job behind the camera in executing those jump scares, in building the suspense, and like I said, definitely a very strong collaboration because there are a lot of Raimi feeling elements in this movie that just all together produce something that's really, really rock solid in the horror suspense monster genre. And this, these are real life monsters. Just a lot of them rather than just one big one. And the other thing too that I liked, the CGI is pretty solid on these gators. And I think it's elevated because they use some practical gator effects. And there are some real gators, well, not actual gators, but like gator props, like physical things where Kaya Scodelario is not like, oh no, I'm getting my hand eaten by a gator, like shoot the gun, boom, 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 like we've seen in the trailer. I think there's like actually something there for her to react to, which elevates the acting, makes the scares more believable, and it enhances the CGI because when you see it go from something that looks practical to the movement, you're like, that's CGI. You're like, wow, that's really good. There are a couple clunky moments. Some of the CGI in the water isn't great. But overall, man, I just liked everywhere the movie went. And you get to have fun with these gator attacks. And it's not just the two of them. Some of the other people that pop up, police officer Wayne, a couple just random, people like looting the town as the water is coming in. And the attacks are fun, and the suspense is great, and like I said, they try to get away from the house in classic Raimi style. He pulls you back in, and every time you're in that house, there are just some really entertaining sequences. There's a scene in the kitchen, scene in the bathroom, that are creative and inventive, and it elevated the idea of an alligator scary movie. So I enjoyed the heck out of Crawl, and apparently a lot of the audience and a lot of the critics so far have really enjoyed it as well. The question is, have you? If you've gone and seen Crawl, what did you like about this movie? Did it kind of surprise you with like how solid it was and like how well it worked in all these different elements, even when it was getting kind of crazy and a little ridiculous? What didn't work? Did the movie not work for you? Whatever you're thinking about it, like, did you like that it was a group of alligators, or shall I say, congregation of alligators? Did you, like that concept rather than the one big alligator? Did you like the performances from Scodelario and Pepper? Whatever you were liking or not liking, put it all down below. I want to know what you're thinking about Crawl. If you have not seen this movie, oh, Seaman got you like, ooh, I could do me a alligator movie. I almost said crocodile again. I just like to say crocodile, man. It makes you think of like the Crocodile Rock. Alligator. Did that make you excited to want to go check out an alligator horror movie? If so, leave those comments down below. If you just don't give a damn about me or this movie, you can tell me that too. Everything you're thinking can go down below. As always, if you enjoyed the video though, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you're liking what we're doing over here at the Cinema Sitdown. And if you want to come join the Cinema Sitdown all the time, you can subscribe and then hit the little bell so you get the alerts when I drop new videos. For the Seaman's Cinema Sitdown, a crazy alligator-filled chomping edition. I am the Seaman, and I am signing off. Peace. Well, you guys are still here. You must be looking for some more content. Well, don't worry. Seaman's got you covered, man. You got videos like this guy and this guy. And if you haven't yet, and you want to come check out all the Seaman goodies, join the Cinema Sitdown squad, man. Hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the little bell down below that, too, so you can get alerts every time I make new videos.